Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your time is spent just maintaining the lifestyle that you have created? Like the cleaning, the maintenance, the bills, the stuff that needs storing, repairing, and replacing. How much time and money and energy is actually going into simply keeping the whole thing going? I have thought about this a lot, and I think for most of us, the cost is not just financial. This high maintenance life can eat up your free time, limit your freedom, and make even the smallest change feel like an impossible project. And often it's not so obvious. You get a nice car and now you need insurance, fuel, servicing, parking fees. You get a big home and suddenly there is more to clean, more furniture to buy, higher bills, more repairs. And this is not just about the objects, it's the routines, the obligations, the mental load that comes with it all. I think a lot of people live like this without realizing how much it's actually costing them. Every extra thing you own or commit to is another thing you have to keep track of, another thing that can break, another thing on your list when you are already tired. And the more your life is filled with fixed, non-negotiable things, the harder it is to make a change when you need to. A new job, a move, a trip, even just taking a proper break. All of it becomes way more complicated when there are too many moving parts. But it doesn't have to be like that. There is another option. One that feels lighter, gives you more room to breathe, and doesn't keep you tied to things you don't even enjoy. That is what low maintenance living is about. For me, low maintenance living isn't just about my home or my possessions. It's about how my whole life is set up and structured. It's about keeping the things in my life to a minimum. So instead of filling my life with responsibilities, I try to stay as flexible as possible. I want to be able to make changes without it feeling like moving a whole mountain. I want a room to adapt when life changes or when I change. And it is not that a high maintenance life is wrong, don't get me wrong in this. Some people find happiness in having a lot of commitments, having like these expensive investments that are keeping them in place and knowing that their life will look exactly the same in 10 years. For them, that is happiness. And could be that maybe one day this will be happiness for me too when I'm older or when my life situation changes. But for now, for me, the more packed and predetermined my life becomes, the more anxious I just feel. I have been in that place before, and honestly, those were some of the toughest years of my life, especially when it comes to my mental health. Even though I haven't felt that way in years, I still remember it clearly. Everything started to feel heavy and gray, like there was no air to breathe and no color in life. It's a bit like looking at a painting that is already finished, but it's not really the picture that you wanted. There's no space left to add anything that feels like you, no room to try something different, and knowing that you cannot change it makes the whole thing feel heavy, like you are stuck with it forever. So low maintenance living for me is keeping that canvas as open as possible. A few lines, maybe some color here and there, but plenty of white space. So if I ever want to add something, I can without having to paint over my whole life. 7 things I have gained by choosing low maintenance living. A life that can shift when you need it to. One of the best parts of living low maintenance is how quickly I can make changes when something isn't working anymore. I'm not stuck waiting for the right time or untangling a long list of commitments. If something isn't working, I can adjust almost straight away. I can decide to travel without needing months or years to prepare. I can move to a new place without it feeling like a massive project. I don't have to book things far ahead or commit to plans I'm not sure that I'll want when the time actually comes. So if someone invites me to something, for example, like very last minute, I can say yes without rearranging my whole life. That space, both in my schedule and in my head, means I can act on opportunities as they come. This type of lifestyle is also way less stressful. With fewer moving parts, there's simply less that can go wrong. I'm not constantly worried about what might break, what I might forget, or how much time a decision will take to undo. Often I see people whose lives are so tightly packed with responsibilities that even a small change throws everything off. If one thing breaks or changes, they have to cancel a whole day to deal with it. If some plan shifts, it sets off this chain reaction of rearrangements and extra costs. Even something as simple as taking a weekend trip feels impossible without weeks of preparation. And this is the type of pressure that I have chosen to avoid. More time for life, not chores. One of the most underrated parts of living low maintenance is how much time it frees up. Not just the freedom to be spontaneous or change your plans, but the hours and days you no longer have to spend on the constant upkeep of your life. When you have fewer things that need your attention, you are not spending every weekend catching up on cleaning, repairs, or errands. You're not losing evenings to sorting, organizing, or maintaining things you barely use. With a low maintenance life, so much of that simply disappears. My living space stays in order with quite minimal effort because there's less to manage. I'm not constantly falling behind on this maintenance, so my free time is actually free to see friends, work on something creative, or just rest without any guilt. The third thing I have gained is financial breathing room. One thing I have noticed with a low maintenance life is that it naturally gives you more ease when it comes to your personal finances. When you don't have a lot of this high maintenance stuff, you are not constantly paying for the repairs, for the upgrades or replacements. You are not locked into these expensive habits or subscriptions that you have to keep up with just to maintain your lifestyle. I actually think that a lot of people don't even realize, or they underestimate how much energy and time and money it takes to constantly earn enough to sustain a high maintenance life that they have. It's like this invisible treadmill you cannot step off. But when your life doesn't cost as much to maintain, you can slow down, you can step off, you give yourself that opportunity. So it's not only the money that you don't spend, it's the pressure that comes off. If your monthly expenses are lower, you don't feel stuck in a job you hate just to afford, all these things. If you start feeling burnt out, you can actually work a bit less or change jobs without your whole life falling completely apart, especially financially. It also means you can save more without trying that hard. That buffer will build up slowly but surely, and before you know it, you might be able to retire earlier, or, the way things are going, just like retire. Finding value in who I am, not what I have. One thing I didn't expect from choosing a low maintenance life and, for example, minimalism is how it forced me to measure my worth differently. When you don't buy much, when you are not constantly upgrading your stuff or your lifestyle, there's this weird space that opens up. You don't have the typical things to point to, the new car, the big home, the look how well I'm doing in life type of moments. When you let go of all that stuff that's like supposed to define your value, some career status or these expensive hobbies, the constant upgrades, you start asking yourself deeper questions like, who am I when I'm not chasing anything? What actually matters when nobody's watching? So now I measure things differently. I try to look at how peaceful I feel, how much time I have spent on things that matter to me personally, not how many things I have collected or how impressive my life looks from the outside. I think that is one of the most freeing things about this lifestyle. It gives you space to reconnect with your true self. Choosing not to feed the overconsumption cycle. Another reason why I chose a low maintenance life is because I honestly think our consumption is out of hand. We keep producing so much stuff. And for what? We live on a planet with limited resources, and yet we keep creating things people don't even really need. A lot of these needs are made up. We have just convinced ourselves that we cannot live without them. And I find this really absurd. It's not just like about us, it's about everything else on this planet as well. The animals, the nature, all living things, and the fact that our habits affect them too. I cannot understand how we can keep going like this and pretend that it is fine, or say that, yeah, we should do something about it and then do absolutely nothing. So for me, it feels like the right thing to do to not follow that path of having more and more and more. Living this way actually gives me much stronger sense of identity. It gives me like meaning to my life, which I think is one of the most important things if you want to be happy and content. I wake up in the morning and I feel like, okay, today I'm doing something good for this world simply by not joining the cycle that is harming it. And that thought gives me a lot of confidence in my own choices. Then we have the people part of low maintenance living. One thing I have really noticed is how this lifestyle or this way of living just naturally makes more room for the people who matter to you. There's more space in my calendar, but also in my head. I'm not constantly thinking about the next thing I have to do or the list of chores that are waiting for me at home. So when I am with someone, I can actually be present with them there, not just physically, but also mentally. It's much easier to say yes to a coffee with a friend, or spend the afternoon with family, or go help someone with something urgent, or even like spend time chatting with strangers on the street. I mean, here in Finland, we don't really do that, but you could, the conversations feel different now too. When you're not rushing or distracted, you actually hear people. You notice the little things that they say. You remember also them later. When life is hectic, on the other hand, you don't have that capacity for that. You just listen to them, you smile and nod, and then 10 seconds later realize that they actually asked you a question or told you something important. Now it feels like I actually have the energy to give people, and I'll be able to give like the best version of me to them, not whatever scraps are left over at the end of the day. Getting out of the fast lane so many people are stuck in. One of the biggest things for me has been just stepping out of that constant rush. That feeling like you always have to be doing something, moving somewhere, ticking something off a list. Like there's this invisible race going on and you are somehow behind in that race, even if no one ever said that to you. I used to feel that a lot, and once you step out of it, you really see how strange it is. Everyone's rushing, but not to do things they actually enjoy, more like rushing to keep up with this lifestyle that is constantly demanding more and more from them. I talked more about this whole constant need to stay productive and how to get out of it in my last video, so check it out here if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you in the next one. Ciao.